You're going to do that, aren't you?
Hurry up, you guys. I'm tired of waiting for you.
Yeah,
The
that's
show
better.
will, the way the show works, it's a podcast, but it's live on tape. So once we start rolling, we
Hello.
don't stop. We go all the way through the
Mainly because we don't even have any buttons.
Yeah,
We can't even stop if we wanted
We're
to.
just going. We'll roll straight through to the end. It's technically not broadcast, but because it's on the iHeartRadio network, we try not to swear. So try not to swear. If you do, it's all right. We'll just keep moving. But we
Don't
actually
apologize.
Yeah, don't just keep going.
Yeah.
There was one episode where the
Don't-
artist
don't linger.
swore as an adjective to everything. Just
Literally hundreds of times.
hundreds and hundreds of times, and so it was too much for us to bleep it, so we just marked it as explicit, and we let it go. It turns out it's our highest listened to podcast, but I don't know if that's...
You've put me in a strange position now.
No. Well, you
Don't
know what?
swear, but our highest ratings are on the one with swearing. And I'm like, if I just use it as a noun, is it okay? No.
Leilani with ground.
Oh, man.
So, I mean,
She was wild.
She has a potty
she
mouth.
is...
I do
Fun
have-
episode, though, if you do want to
She's
listen to
funny.
it.
I have a potty mouth too, but I'll keep it.
That's
back.
fine. So we'll start the show. I'll do a quick intro to
saw
Russ.
that, yeah.
Flash will do a quick intro to Naeha. Naeha, right?
Naeha, yeah.
I gotta say it right. Naeha, who is the president, by the way. Say the president of Ola Brewing Company.
President and CEO.
No,
No,
there is a CEO.
we have a CEO.
That's not what
You're the president, right?
Oh, I'm the CEO of another company.
I said Ola. I said Ola.
Hawaiian
Brewing,
Ola.
though. Okay.
So, are we live on YouTube? Yeah. Excellent. All right, well, let's get going. Fantastic.
Great.
I want the link
Well, let me post it.
so I can share the link. People like me on Facebook.
Russ, you have your phone open?
My phone is open right now.
I'll send it to you right now. What's your number?
Does mean I need to log
Here,
into
just
Facebook.
type in your number so that all the YouTubers can get it.
Oh yeah, we don't want. Maybe I want them to get it. I'm staring awkwardly at the camera. There we go. Oh, I just got it. And Flash said it to me too. He beat you.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, ready? You're gonna just do a quick Instagram intro here.
We are? Okay.
What's that? Not been there yet.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, they're good.
Ooh,
Yum.
That sounds delicious.
it sounds good actually.
They serve you guys, right?
All right, quick Instagram intro.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Flash. You've got Maleko on the camera. We are doing, I think this is our first ever music hall performance with
Shit,
a...
hold on. Wait. All right, here we go. But at the end, you want to say swipe up
Oh, okay, got it.
to watch it live.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Flash. Maleko is holding the camera right now. We are doing our first ever music hall podcast with a packed studio audience with Ukulele Russ, direct from Anchorage, and the president of Ola Brewing Company, Naeha Breeland, is going to be here. Well, she is here right now, and we do have our own Chris Mills providing
Chris.
food from
Our audience of
Merriman's
one.
today.
Yeah,
Our
Merriman's.
audience of one, and Kevin Catan.
All right, let's
Packed
do the
house.
show. How can people watch
Packed
the show
house.
right now?
You can watch the show right now. Just swipe up. That's all you got to do. Swipe up. It's that easy, kids. Packed house. Packed house.
I've never used Tinder. Is it swipe right for yes or no?
Don't act like you don't know the answer to that
I
question.
don't know
Russ.
the answer to that question. Actually, I'm old. I'm old and I've been married for a long time, and I'm afraid of her because she would find out I downloaded it at some point, and then it would be bad. She wouldn't divorce me.
I thought Mills had a studio audience for this.
He is the studio audience.
Apparently.
All right.
See how many sponsors I can get on the table in one shot. God, I'm so glad it's a hard seltzer day and not a.
A hard seltzer day? Are you a Truly or a White Claw man?
Well, no, it's the Ola hard seltzer.
Oh, nice. Oh, man, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Oh, wow. Good.
Pay attention, Russ, to
Sorry.
what's going on right here.
Listen. Okay, I was going to say, Adidas just became cool in Alaska, so we're a little behind. Try the seltzer now that I'm talking about it.
Now that you made fun of me for drinking seltzers.
No, I'm into it.
Okay, Flash, I'll
Ooh,
tag you
lemongrass.
this in the post.
Day drinking.
Is that what we're doing right now?
Well, I'm
Day
going to put this
drinking?
up now so that people can watch.
I know, everyone's on their phones. Are we all Instagramming right
Sorry.
now?
I drink liquids all day. Coffee and water.
You can just repost it.
I'm not getting kicked off stage here. Hard
All right.
rock. Yeah.
There you go, Flash. Boom.
That is pretty good. Only 100 calories.
Excellent. All right. So, Russ, when you're, whatever you're
You
comfortable with, if you want to come join us and talk with us here,
Whenever
you
you want.
can. Otherwise, you can stand there the whole time. But
could
this
stand,
chair is for you if you're feeling like it at any time.
All right.
All right.
When you don't like the music anymore, just tell me and I'll come sit next to you.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so maybe we should start off with a song, huh? Should we do
Whatever
that?
you want. Whatever you want.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Hey, YouTube fans, how's it going, everybody? So we're about to go live with the Maleko and Flash podcast
Not the
on
lemongrass,
this
because I had one
Wednesday,
of those
March
yesterday.
4th. And I figured it's a great way to start the show with Ukulele Russ.
Hey, okay, great.
Is that the start of the actual show?
Seattle. So I'm Russ. I'm from Fairbanks. Mentioned I was from Anchorage earlier, but that's the dirty big city. We don't talk about it very much. Fairbanks is a quite windless place. It's very cold, though. It was 30 below at night when I left. I'm glad to be here. My wife, who I refer to as corporate, is not too happy, though. She just cares that the numbers are up. That's all she cares about. Just corporate wants the numbers up. I brought my band.
Yeah.
Maybe not the church organ first. We'll wait for that. That's soon. Ice and snow, weeks on end, at 40 below. Days where the sun, better meets the sky. I never asked myself why. 'Cause I know, no matter how far I go, Fairbanks may suck, but Delta Junction, it blows. It's about 100 miles away. But I dream of my city, by the river where the banks is fair. It's nice when I set all this stuff up off the plane and it still works. Thanks, Alaska Airlines. Maybe a drummer. This is my drummer. His name's Carl. Oh, yeah. 6 months, the sun circles the sky. Sit back, I drink my drink, and look up, and I wonder why. Why can't I just stay here all day until the sun leaves and winter whips me away? 'Cause I know no matter how far I go at the end of the night or after my show. But this is the beginning of the show. The podcast.
Whatever.
Ooh, on iHeart Radio. I can do your bumper music if you guys want.
Yeah.
Probably not, but that's okay.
Give it up for Ukulele Russ.
And the crowd goes wild.
If I put a delay on my voice, you can make it act like there's more people here.
Well, welcome to the Maleko and Flash podcast.
Hey.
Happy Wednesday. I'm Maleko.
I'm Flash. It's weird to do this without the
With the music,
our theme music. Yeah.
Maybe we'll put it
We'll
in
insert that later.
post.
Sure.
There. But thanks for joining us today. We've got a very special edition of the podcast. We're doing things very, very new and unusual today. We're like cats. You moved our cat box today.
Who are
and
you
we're-
looking at while you're talking right now? I don't understand.
I'm just looking at that can of Ola cider over there.
You're literally looking at the non-existent studio. He's making eye contact like you're just such
Look,
a pro. You can't
our
help yourself.
engineer is here. Look, we
Hey,
got
it's Dale.
our audience of one.
Studio audience of one.
He's enjoying the Merrimans today. We got a special show today. As you've heard, we're a little out of sorts because we're out of our usual box and we're in the hall here at the iHeartRadio studios, which is sponsored by Mills. Who's it sponsored by? Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union. What do they say over there? Hele mai come belong. Have we paid the bills? Can we keep the lights on for a little bit longer? Excellent. All right. So we want to thank them for letting us use the hall today because we got our special performance here. He comes from the last frontier. He comes from Alaska, and he is an ukulele performer that does so much more. He's a comedian. He's a music enthusiast. He's a one-man band, and he's a lot of fun.
Literally a one-man band.
You just heard some of his music there. We'll play some more for that. But give it up for Ukulele Russ, everybody.
I'm also a jet setter. On my part
Louder,
time.
Dale. Louder.
Jet setter. Come on, Dale. Step it up, man.
Chris isn't even clapping.
No, he's eating the food from Merriman's.
He's got to hang
too
out with me all
distracted
week.
by food.
That's
Yeah.
why.
The good thing about being here in the hall, though, is that we get treated so much better. Like, instead of getting our usual Costco pizza, Chris Mills, our top sales guy over here at iHeartRadio, brought us a whole feast from Merriman's Honolulu. So thank you, Chris, for that, and thank you, Merriman's, for hooking that up.
Woo. Try the biscuits. Seriously, they're amazing.
Yes, they are.
Everything there today, perfect hangover food.
Yeah, and what goes better with a hangover than hair of the dog? And today we've actually got a very special guest all the way from the Big Island of Hawaii. It is the up-and-comer of local small brewery companies. They have gone completely crowdsourced to bring you some of the most incredible brews. Not only do they have a great selection of beers, but they have absolutely rocked the market with their selection of seltzers. And so when people ask you if you want a seltzer, Ola Brew absolutely makes my favorites on the market. They've got a ginger, they've got a lemongrass, and a lemon lime. I actually was talking about which one was my favorite earlier, and I couldn't decide. I think it's lemongrass, but it's probably lemon lime, or it actually...
We get it. You're an alcoholic. We got it.
It could be any of those. But anyway, we've got the president of Ola Brew Company here for you. Naeha Breeland is here, and she's going to tell us more about the company and about where these delicious beverages come from. Naeha, thanks for coming in.
Thank you guys so much for having me. And thanks, Ukulele Russ, for being here.
Thank you for putting up with us in this whole weird situation.
They haven't
today.
stopped the flights yet. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, you're going to be stuck here on Mills's couch for several months.
You're going to be quarantined to this room.
I could think of worse places.
It's like 20 degrees in this room.
I'm
though,
just
so it
happy
probably
that
feels
we're
like
all
home for you.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No,
interrupt.
go ahead.
I'm just really happy that we're all still shaking hands.
And
For
hugging.
now.
And
Evidently.
hugging. And
For
hugging.
now, by the end of the show, things might be different.
That's it.
I'm watching the news right now.
If anyone coughs during the show, you'll be quarantined to the Old Star Studio. That's what we're going to send you guys.
Actually, truthfully, if anything happens, Maleko will get some sort of notification, because he is a morning show TV news anchor guy.
Yeah, but it's the third-rated station in Hawaii, so I may not get the information
It
until
is.
like
Guy Hoggy made that very, very clear in last week's podcast.
He did. He absolutely did.
Yes. Thanks,
so today,
Guy.
in Louisville Bartender, we're going to just drink Ola brews today. And so, Naeha, you brought a whole selection. What did you bring for
Yeah.
us today?
So today I brought all of our packaged products that you can find at Costco and Whole Foods and Safeway, Walmart, Target,
Killing it.
Foodlands.
Killing it.
So we have all of our seltzers. We have our lemon lime hard seltzer, our ginger hard seltzer, and our lemongrass, which is my favorite hard seltzer. Then we have our Kona Gold pineapple cider, which is the state's first cider in cans.
So good.
And then we also have our IPA, which was our flagship packaged product, and our Ma'a lager.
Fantastic. This is a great. We're going to try all of these for the end of the day. Flash, you're not a beer person, but you are a cider person. Am I right?
I'm not. I haven't ever gotten too much into the hard ciders. I do.
That's because you have this image of frat bros or something with ciders.
No, well, you're getting the ciders and the seltzers mixed up, and I'm sure you could speak to the difference between the two, because
Yeah.
clearly my friend doesn't know what
I
he's
misheard
talking
you.
about.
I thought you were talking about seltzers. but go
Yes,
ahead.
exactly. The hard cider is different than the hard seltzer. The hard seltzers, to be honest, the only hard seltzer that I drink is Ola's, which I get from Whole Foods. And the first time I saw it there, I was actually really stoked because I'm not a White Claw guy, and I refuse to drink that because that's frat bro.
That's totally
stuff,
frat bro.
yeah, like
In fact,
I
if
wouldn't
I
be-
saw you with one, I would
I
have
wouldn't
to
be
slap
caught
your
dead.
face.
Would not be caught dead drinking a White Claw. There's such a bad connotation and stigma to it. But I was
Is it
super
like that
stoked.
in Alaska too? It is,
Yeah.
right? Anybody carrying one of those is just a pain in the ass.
Yes. I really don't have much to add to that.
Like
That was pretty
I mean,
spot on.
White Claws. That's the kind of drink that Chris Mills would have. Versus, I would drink the Ola
Wow.
hard seltzer.
I mean, like
He
there's
brought the food, man.
I know, but listen. If you're on the show, that's what happens. He knows what he's getting into.
He's leaving the room now. He just
He's
left.
literally just left the room. But I do, which I know is terrible for you to
crazy.
hear. But however, you can still get my money because I do really like the Ola hard seltzers. I'm not a hard seltzer person per se, but if I'm going to have a hard seltzer, I do want to support local, and I am stoked that you can get this stuff at
Super
like
stoked.
regular stores.
Easy. You have it at 7-Eleven too, right? Or at least it's
Aloha Island Marts.
okay,
You
yeah,
can
because
get
I've seen them at the convenience stores as well. I
Yeah.
mean, that's
I mean, once you're
fantastic.
at Costco, that's a wrap.
Oh, dude, it's
job.
Okay, so before we go any further, the way the show works is during the show we need to have an excuse to drink, although you can drink at any time. But if we hear the word of the day, you have a sip of your Ola seltzer or Ola IPA when you're at home,
Or a gulp, whatever.
or a gulp, or whatever. It's just shotgun, however you want to do it. So we need a word of the day, and Russ or Naeha, you guys can powwow. A word we're going to say a lot, but not too much.
not too much.
So it can't be the word the.
Epstein didn't kill himself?
Wow.
Too soon?
I didn't know we were on the Rogan podcast.
Too soon? Too soon? Oh, I'm just joking.
Coronavirus.
Yes!
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
corona-
That's a great word.
I was thinking about it, but I didn't know if people were ready for that because
Yeah.
you can't find toilet paper anywhere on this island right now.
True.
toilet paper?
It's true. The shelves have been wiped clean.
Hey-o.
Oh, that's something I could get behind.
Oh, my goodness.
That joke was poopy. All right.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, so the word of the day is coronavirus. That's fun. Apologies to you at home if you're quarantined at the moment, but hey, the rest of the show is going to be great.
That means coronavirus. He said it.
Yeah.
That means we all got a drink.
So anytime you hear the word
Dale,
coronavirus,
where's your cocktail, Dale?
everybody make some noise.
Dale, our studio audience of one.
And have a sip of your favorite brew.
Dale, it's a requirement. You have to drink. Russ, do you have something over
I
there?
need more. I need more.
What do you want? Do you want
I'd
a
like to-
ginger, lemongrass, lemon lime, or do you want one of the beers?
I'll try the lemon lime.
Okay, lemon lime. There's one right there.
Naeha, wait, hold on.
She just brought it. Here,
Wait, that's a pale ale.
Look, she brought some swag too. We got a fancy Ola Brew koozie for you as well. That's
I
fantastic.
brought some CDs. They double as coasters. I know you're not going
What's
to
a
listen to 'em.
CD?
What's C? Yeah,
What?
well. I just got off the cassette train like last week, so you're lucky.
Make me a mixtape, will you,
Welcome to
Russ?
the 90s.
Actually, the first time I was introduced to Ola Brew, I was on. I was staying in Hilo at the Naniloa, and they had on tap this bright pink purple cider. And I saw one at the pool, and I went right up to the bartender and I said, "I want that, whatever that is." And it's your dragon fruit cider.
He's attracted to bright pink.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful though. Like you look at it, it's this translucent purpley. I don't even know what you call the color, but
like magenta.
it's
ish.
Are you talking that's the color of the can or the color
it's
of
the
the
beverage.
actual
Like it's in
liquid
a glass,
itself?
'cause it came
the
off the
liquid
tap.
itself is pink.
Yeah.
It came off the tap. It's dragon fruit color. You've seen the color of a dragon fruit? It's
Yes.
that bright
So you
pink
saw a
purpley.
pink liquid drink and you're like, I gotta have that.
I need that inside of me right
Yeah.
now.
It's,
It's
ve- it's,
the upgrade of
yeah.
the purple drink. you
it's
know?
very on brand for Maleko to want the pink
It's
drink.
fantastic, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I went back, and I think you can only get it on that island because I had it just this past weekend at the Mauna Lani. Is that where we
Yeah.
were? Yeah. So we were there, and they had it too.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so that's the dragon fruit lychee cider. It's super delicious. It's really dry, so a lot of our ciders are on the drier side, not super sweet.
Why is that? That's obviously a choice that you guys have made.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're not adding a lot of extra sugars, right? So we're using the sugars that are in the fruits, and we get all of those fruits on island. So like the dragon fruit comes from Miloli'i, which is way south Kona. The lychee comes from Ka'avaloa Farms in Hononau. So the whole idea
It's
behind
all
it.
locally sourced
Exactly.
too. Wow.
Everything we're doing.
Local to the Big Island, like
That's amazing.
local.
But we've also kind of started to outsource onto from other farms throughout Hawaii. So we're trying
Very
to
nice.
make everybody
Spread the
even.
love?
Yep, exactly.
Very, very cool.
Is there certain fruits that grow better or worse on different islands?
That's a good question.
Yes and no. There, like for instance, Maui has Maui Gold, which is actually what's in our Kona Gold pineapple cider. So they have a huge plantation of pineapples, and so basically we just get as much as we can. We actually get 40-foot containers of pineapple from Maui Gold, and then we're juicing it all in our facility, and then we add that fresh juice to our pineapple cider.
So is it like the pineapples from Maui are, let's say, better or just different than the pineapples that you would get on Oahu?
Yeah. Kind of.
Okay, you're getting too deep now. I think.
I'm very curious.
You've gone too far.
We're going to start the inter-island
we
wars
just
again.
choose-
That's just it, man. Which island makes the best pineapple?
We choose to go with Maui
The
Gold.
Inter-island wars.
But then we also get white pineapple, which is delicious, and that's kind of a specialty from Hawaii Island. And we keep that one on Hawaii Island for our
Nice,
local
okay.
residents.
White pineapple?
Yeah.
Is there such a thing?
There
Is
is.
it's actually white?
Yes, so
That's
the flesh is a lot lighter than a gold pineapple. It's a
Wow.
lot sweeter, less acidic. Really, really delicious.
Just more howly in general?
Yeah.
Got it.
Here comes the white pineapple to take over the
I was
place,
going to say,
just
he's
like
take over
the
the whole plantation.
just like everything
Yeah.
else.
Sorry.
That white pineapple privilege just taking over the brewing industry.
Oh,
You
terrible!
feel slightly guilty about it, though, okay?
Terrible. All right, we'll give you. That was a tough question, Naeha. I'll give you a break to rest your brain on that one. But Russ, let's get back to you for a second here. You're here in Hawaii. Hawaii and Alaska are like sister states. Like we were the last two afterthoughts when the United States decided to put something together and spread their wings. What's life like in the Great Frontier?
I mean, depends on how much money you have.
Okay.
I don't. I'm on ukulele wages instead of a guitar player, so I haven't had running water in 10 years.
What?
Wait, no, are you serious?
Yeah, since I moved there about 11 years ago now.
So what
I
does that
haven't run
mean?
water.
You don't have running water?
The kind of running water I have is the kind you run and go get. And put in a jug, bring it home. And
Like
the jug.
you get it from a well, or you just buy it at
there's
Safeway?
a
or
spring about 20, 30 minutes away from me, or I can go to town. They have gas pumps. You fill up
where you can just
water.
fill up water?
Yeah.
Do you have to pay for that?
Yeah, it's 2 cents a gallon.
What?
Yeah, and so
That
you
is
bring that
wild.
house. Well, when you don't have a toilet, you don't have a sink, and you don't have
Sure.
a dishwasher, you don't really use a lot of water. You learn that.
I guess so, yeah.
And how clean do you really want your dishes?
That's
you
it,
got
so-
dogs. That saves a lot of water right there.
Oh
just
God!
joking.
Oh man!
No, so
That's
I
a
don't have
visual.
I have an outhouse, and I have a sink that empties to a bucket, and I have to. Corporate's
empty
mad because I'm not there to unload the bucket right now. She
That's
has to do
right.
it herself. Yeah.
So she maintains the house where you. It's just the two of you
It's just the two of us
and a dog.
2 dogs and a cat. Yeah.
You know, it'd be very easy to make fun of Russ's living situation. However, when the coronavirus hits, who's going to be the safest? We're all going to be moving in with Russ.
Yeah, come on
You're
out.
already quarantined.
I quarantined myself 10 years ago living there. No, but it's an interesting spot. You know, I got to carry a pistol to walk my dogs kind of thing. I'm in the middle of nowhere. So it's like.
Have you encountered wildlife then?
Yeah, wolves and bear and moose on my road. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
This really is a Joe Rogan podcast at this point. Wow.
Epstein didn't kill himself. Sorry. It just doesn't make sense.
That's the backup word of the day for you folks.
No, I figured I should move. If I was going to be a ukulele player, I might as well move someplace where I'd be the only one. So 10 years ago, I moved there.
So wait a minute. Why did you become an ukulele? Why not guitar?
Well, I had
keyboards,
$30.
banjo.
When I was walking across town, I was 20 years old. Have my buddy buy me beer. I think the statute of limitations have run out on that one, so I'm safe talking about it.
You're good. Okay.
But I walked by the music store. They had a $30 ukulele, and I bought it.
So if that
That's been
music
my
store,
career for
if
the
that
last
music
15
store
years.
had a $30 guitar or whatever
Yeah.
bass, you would have bought that.
No,
And it was-
because I bought the ukulele because it was just easily transportable, and everybody else plays bass and guitar. And I was like, well, I need something different because my father always told me in the military, if you wanted the cool job, everybody else wanted the cool job. And it'd be very hard to rise through the ranks, but you'd eventually make it. Or you could take the crap job nobody wants, which unfortunately ukulele is that in the mainland. and if you're half decent, you'll do all right.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, if you grew up here, it would have been a
whatever.
completely different
Yeah,
story.
yeah, exactly.
Like
But-
everyone here, yeah, I think even guitar players here, they usually have started out on ukulele, right? Because it's, I mean, it's a smaller instrument, and as
you
a
have
kid,
to be able to
it's-
play it here. Like it's just part of your. If you can play any instrument,
Yeah.
you also play the ukulele here.
I've noticed that. It's kind of interesting. I was on a beach on the Big Island, KA Beach, near Captain Cook, and I was down there playing ukulele and had a bunch of locals surround me because there's Hawaiian homelands down there. And I was like, oh no, like little Howley sitting Indian style with 6 islanders around him. And they're like, that's great, man. They all start dancing. They're like, do you want to learn some Hawaiian songs? And I looked them straight in the eye. I go, no. And they go, why? I'm like, whoa, 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 before you beat me up and stomp me on the ground. Because there must have been 3,000 pounds between the 6 of them. Go poi. Woo! I said, you guys do it so good. Why would I even want to try? You know? And we all smiled, and we drank kava for 3 hours. It was great.
Oh wow,
It was fun.
Kava's heavy.
Yeah.
Maleko's moving on to his second Ola Brew already. I think Russ is on his second Ola Brew.
I'm trying to keep the coronavirus away.
That's
it.
I mean, it's not like we're counting. This is a no judgment zone.
I don't know. Felt a little judgy, Flash. I'm gonna admit.
Yeah.
Slightly judgy.
No, it's making me feel good about my drinking habits.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Actually, you had a bit of a rough one last night, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
I did, sir.
You
Yeah.
want to talk about that?
Well, I mean, Cameron and I went out. We got a big client we were trying to get, and it was hugs and high fives.
Do you remember what happened at the end of the night?
Handshaking.
I'm not really clear on everything, except I did wake up to a picture of Cameron naked in his shower that he sent me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You guys have an interesting relationship.
Well, don't be jealous.
Yeah.
Listen, there's still room for you in my life.
Was that a reward for getting the client, or was that
I'm
was
not
that
sure.
an FU
Yeah.
for blowing the deal?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I'm not really sure why he sent that picture, and I don't really want to ask him why. Oh, look at you with the sound effects. I love it. Dale, how many drinks are you in?
Just the one.
Just the one for now.
Our engineer.
Dale, you like the lager? Okay, so everyone has a different favorite, which is good.
Nice. It's good.
I like the lemongrass is typically my favorite.
I tell you,
like
I'm-
the ginger too.
I'm glad that I put a base down with this Merriman's food here. Just some of the main. Here's what we're eating today. Just if you're listening at home and you're hungry, here's what's on the menu at Merriman's Kaka'ako: organic taro hummus, poke, fresh ahi poke, Pacific white shrimp ceviche, and chow fun with Kauai shrimp and pork. That's what they brought us today.
And the biscuits and the bread.
And the biscuits and the bread,
Which
amazing.
is when you're hungover.
You got to sop it up.
Yes. No, but seriously, I mean, the biscuits at Merriman's are like legendary. That is one of my favorite things to get there every time.
Do they have hot malasadas?
Hot malasadas.
Hot malasadas. I just like saying that. Sorry.
fun. It's a
Being
fun
from
word.
away, it's nice to be malasada.
Have you had any since you've been here?
I like hot malasadas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad.
Have you had the ones like? What's your favorite kind? Because they now they fill them with stuff. And
I don't
they
like the. I just want a regular,
Yeah.
sugar
Old
coated,
school.
old school. Yeah, like malasada, hot malasada. I don't
Agreed.
want it warm. I don't want it
like. I
cold.
don't like them messing with the malasada.
Really?
It's just I want a straight ahead. If I want that, I'll go get a donut.
Yeah, no, I don't discriminate. It's just the malasada, and then if it has something in it, or if it's covered with lihi mui, I'm just.
There's a guy in the Big Island that's got
The
like
cinnamon
face
sugar.
tattoos, and he makes them on the side of the road. That guy's awesome. His malasada is a hot.
I'm
hot
sure.
hot.
Do you know what he's talking about?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Who goes? He's up at
Come right up on the mic here.
The Mauna Lani, around Mauna Lani.
Yeah, and he
Yep.
hangs out on the side of
Totally.
the road. Oh, I've eaten a lot of those malasada.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I like this. Russ, you have a favorite ukulele player, like another guy that you'd love to
It's
jam
actually
with?
a female,
Oh.
Tamine. She's from here.
Oh,
Taimane.
Taimane.
Wow.
Taimane.
Yeah.
That could
Whatever,
not
I
be a
just-
more howly
I'm
pronunciation.
Howley. Whatever.
Tammy.
Tamine.
Tammy,
Ta-
Taimane, whatever.
Taimane.
Yeah.
Listen, we don't do all hard vowels where I live, white boy. Okay?
She's amazing.
She's great.
She's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
She's my favorite. I mean,
Yeah.
I like Jake, obviously, but everybody wants to be Jake now.
Sure, yeah.
And everybody's starting to sound like Jake, so it's kind of like watered down the product as far as I'm concerned. Because everybody's like, you close your eyes, you're like, oh man, is that Jake? And you open up like, no, that's some other.
Some other guy that wants to be him.
Another
Yeah.
guy wants to be Jake. but
Taimane's
she's
fantastic,
awesome.
though.
Yeah.
She puts on an
She came from
incredible
such-
Yeah.
performance
Yeah.
too.
She's
Such
really good.
humble roots, though. I remember we would do events in Waikiki, and she was on the street in front of Waikiki, just playing on the street for for tips.
Yeah.
And it wasn't long before a producer came and picked her up, and
Well, I did that, but no producer came. They told me to move first. and then
Gave
I
you a
got talking
ticket.
to people. I had a nice crowd. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just on vacation here, checking out the scene. I'm from Hawaii. And then it was like the Red Sea parted. They're gone.
sad,
They're like,
yeah.
oh, he's not a local. The one thing that hasn't happened this trip yet, which I know, I'm sure it won't. Usually I have like a group of Chinese tourists. They'll come up to me like, oh, can I get a picture with you? And they're always like singing around me. And I don't have the heart to tell them I'm not a local. But I'm just like,
No.
yeah, sure, okay.
well, you don't want that anyway, too, because
Well, they're not here right now.
well, coronavirus, right?
Well,
I mean,
Coronavirus! Nah.
Dale, drink.
that's hilarious and racist at the same time.
It's not racist if it's kind of like
True.
statistically true, right?
It's true.
Yeah, I'm just sad. Like I like them. It's just it's interesting to see them 5 abreast on the sidewalk in a herd of 30, like moving through. It's like locusts and everything's like destroyed as I pass through. No.
What's a crowd favorite when you play on the street? Like, what's something that always brings a crowd over to come and check you out?
Van Halen tunes.
Could you play one for us?
Yeah, cool. I do Van Halen. I usually don't have all this stuff, but it's fun to have the band.
Hold on. David Lee Roth, Van
Oh, yeah,
Halen,
yeah.
or
Did I-
Sammy?
Did I say Van Hagar, sir?
Excellent. Excellent.
I did not.
That is the correct answer.
That is the correct answer. Can you get this part now? Really quiet there. There we go. Mostly because people don't expect us to see this. They don't see this coming. I have a little organ pedal from a ukulele. You do it like this. Here you go.
Oh my God.
Pretty neat, huh?
Yes.
I get up and nothing gets me down. You got it tough. I seem the toughest around. And I know, baby, just how you feel. You got it tough. You got to get to what's real. Oh, when I see you standing there with your back against the record machine, can't you see what I mean? I ain't the worst that you've seen, baby. Yeah, might as well jump. Go ahead and jump. But you really need the second person doing the jump in the background. Might as well jump, jump. Go ahead and jump.
That's your cue.
Is that it?
Run and jump, jump. So I got in an argument with a guy from Australia. He's got a very large mullet. I swear that every time a mullet is cut off in the United States, 2 sprout in South Australia. And we got an argument, a 3-hour drunken argument over what was the bass line for the song. And so we got on Google, finally, 24-pack in, and realized this was the bass line. Michael Anthony, the bass player for Van Halen, the flagger of musicians. This is all he does for $10,000 a night.
This is it?
I want his job.
He's great on the harmonies, though.
I mean, he's great on the harmonies.
Yeah.
And the hair.
Yeah.
He's got great hair. But no, then I realized I could do both parts at the same time.
Nice.
Take that, Jake.
Oh, when I see you standing there with your back against the reggae machine, I can't just see what I mean. I ain't the worst that you've seen. You've seen worse on Waikiki. I know you have. I've been down there. You always get that one semi-hot chick that's out there playing 3 chords. I love her. She's really made my career, so I really love her. Keep doing it, girl. Might as well jump. Go ahead and jump. Jump.
Yes!
There you go. Thank you.
Ukulele Russ.
Thank you.
ladies and
Ukulele
gentlemen.
Russ. So how did you get to the point of, I mean, comedy is a huge part of your act. And,
Oh, I
and-
love
and
it,
you do what you did in that Van Halen song for a lot of your songs. Just in the middle of it, you just start telling a story. You make it, there's some sort of funny interlude. How did that come about?
Well, I've seen. Oh, let me turn off my effects here. I've seen a lot of people do shows, obviously, throughout the years, and I like being a musician, but I've always wanted to be an entertainer. 'Cause I want to make people laugh and pay attention. Because I've seen a lot of bars where you play music and you're just the guy in the corner, like playing background music for people's conversations and stuff, which is fine. I'd rather say something completely off color and weird, so people will actually look over at me rather than their food or their drink.
Right.
And I wanted to be an entertainer. I wanted to tell jokes, but one, being comedian is one of the hardest entertainer nooks there are because they don't pay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so hard to make a living, and I can't. If I'm ever going to tour, I can't have a day job. And so, for many years, I made $3,000 or $4,000 a year playing music, and then I realized that if I mix the two together, I could be something different.
Which, by the
Yeah.
way, $3,000 or $4,000 a year playing music is more than most musicians make.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
That
I
was
mean, just to
hard.
be paid to play
Yeah.
music is an
That's double what
accomplishment.
most comedians make.
Exactly.
Right? So
It's
And I was
triple
living-
what
I-
Maleko makes.
it's true.
I was living with 3 other guys in a band, and that's how much we made after a year, for 2 years living together,
Oh my
splitting
God.
bills. We didn't have, drugs are expensive, man.
Unless you're a hot chick.
I mean, especially
Otherwise, drugs are expensive.
drugs are expensive. I mean, but the ones that cure coronavirus aren't. Oh,
Hey ho!
acetaminophen, yo. All right.
So it sort of came out of necessity to
Yeah.
some degree. Hey, pay attention to me in the corner.
And the fact that I got to the point where I got kind of jaded after doing it. I'm just like, I'm just somebody's background music. Well, I'm just not gonna care anymore. I'm just gonna be me up there, and that was the best thing I ever did for myself, because it's opened up a lot of avenues for me to do gigs. And now when I go overseas and stuff, and in the States, I usually do small theaters and comedy clubs and places like that where people are there to sit there and listen, rather than me just be the background music. And it's crazy. You actually get paid a lot more to do this gig. A lot less time on stage too. My dad always told me, smarter, not harder, right? And then I moved to Alaska, and I have to plow a mile of road to get in and out. So.
Yeah.
I mean,
Whatever.
that's hard living in Alaska, right? I mean,
It
that's
is.
my impression of it. Is that this is not a cushy life.
It isn't, but I can open up all the windows to my house and crank my speakers to 11, run the chainsaw out the window, and start shooting stuff with my shotgun, and my neighbor will come over the next day and going, "Sound like you were having fun last night." And he's the only guy who lives on my road within a mile of me pretty much, in a tent year-round.
He
In
lives
a
in a
tent?
tent.
Yes, Dave, which is actually the same name as my cat, but Dave, my neighbor, because I don't want
Did you name Dave the cat after Dave, your neighbor?
No, we had Dave before we bought bought the property.
Is that
where we
because
built the
Dave
house.
was never there?
Dave was never there. Dave lives in a. Dave's not on the internet, so I don't have to worry about him seeing this. But Dave's on the internet now. No, he lives in a tent. It's an Arctic oven tent, and 30, 40 below. He's in a tent
Wow.
year round.
That is a cold.
That's intense.
So
That
Alaska
is
is full of a
intense.
bunch of different kind of people.
We're the end of the rotors. Let's put that's the nice way. End of the rotors.
Yeah.
People are like, "Wow, I'm weird. I probably shouldn't be down here." And then
Yeah.
they move north. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you could live end of the road in Key West and be a little warmer. I mean, like there's
True.
there's probably an easier way to do this.
We're talking property value though.
True.
Rent costs.
Gotcha.
I mean, like in a lot of places, it's weird. In the United States, they frown if you have an outhouse. They really don't like that. Like water tables and stuff. It's weird. And with us, we live in a subarctic desert. Nobody cares. Like, you're not just going to drag the building? I'm like, no, I'm going to build a new one.
Yeah. So what was the name of the town you lived in? You said it earlier?
Squarebanks. I live in Fairbanks.
Fairbanks. Okay. Is that one of those towns that you gotta fly into?
No, it is actually the hub in the center of the state for all those fly-in places.
Okay, so if you're gonna go anywhere else, you fly out of Fairbanks.
Yeah, or you go fly into Fairbanks to get your supplies to go back to the village.
Right.
Off the road system.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's where people come to
Yeah.
visit the
It's the
outpost.
It's the largest city, I think, that far north.
Wow.
It's Fairbanks.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
it's only 23,000 people in the municipality. There's 100,000 in my county, and the county's the size of New Jersey.
Wow. So when is it your turn to be mayor then at this point?
Soon.
Yeah? Is that coming up?
Yeah, it's kind of like jury duty. We just take turns. Actually, there's a town
Russ, you're
about
up.
200 miles south of us called Talkeetna, and they had a cat, Mayor Stubbs, for about 20 years. Stubbs just passed away.
Was Dave pissed?
Oh, that's sad.
No, Dave liked his cat representation. He thought that was
Okay.
great. Yeah. Dave the cat. Not my neighbor Dave. Bevo
Not
people
neighbor
like
Dave,
that.
cat Dave.
No, neighbor Dave doesn't like
Okay.
cats. Yeah.
Do you have internet up there?
I can write you an email from my outhouse. Yeah.
You can.
Yeah, I got Wi-Fi.
You have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
I'm the only person on my road with power, too.
There's only 2 people on your road, and
Yeah.
one lives in a tent.
And the power goes through.
That's not really saying anything there, Russ.
But, hey, come on, man. Everybody else in the subdivision's done. There's like 10 of them that don't have electricity. I was like, yeah, 30 grand. Yeah, put that power pole right here. I'm like, I have as much in the power pole as I have in the house that I built.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So in Alaska, what are people's reactions if they haven't seen you play before? Obviously, it's right in your name, Ukulele Russ.
Yeah.
It's not like they're coming in expecting a guitar player, but
No, they expect me to be some fat guy in a Hawaiian shirt that's singing songs about rainbows and tying your shoes, is what they really think I'm. That's what they think I am
Got
before
it.
they actually see what
Got
I'm
it.
doing. Yeah, and
I
that
got
happens
both
a lot
of
of
those
places.
references.
Chris has had that problem trying to book me. They're like, what? Alaska ukulele? Who is this loser? And they hang up the phone, and then he cries and calls me up and says, it's not going to work. And then it worked. We're on phase 2 right now.
yeah.
Phase 2.
Is that your Chris impression? Can you do that again?
That's pretty dead on, man.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to say anything.
That's it. The only way that could be more spot on is if he was carrying a White Claw. That's it.
Bingo.
He's leaving
Oh,
again.
he's leaving.
The crowd is shrunk to 2.
Yeah. By the way, yeah, our audience did grow. We have a second audience member now. Kevin
Yeah.
Cotton is here.
That's it. Kevin Cotton is here. Kevin running our live stream today, which looks fantastic, by the way, Kevin. Good work. That's it.
Yeah. So our audience is just the 2 guys that work here who have to be here.
Pretty much. That's it.
Yeah.
They're here to make sure that we don't fall off the rails.
Are you guys like most podcasts and just record this thing over and over and have like 3 views? Because that's what mine.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I sit at home and I listen to it myself, so I get another click.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like,
basically just my mom is the only one that listens.
That's it.
Most.
That's the running
listens
joke.
to
Is that
most of
Flash's
them.
mom.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, we've talked about bringing her into the show, but then we would have no listeners because she's the only
Right.
listener. So unless she
Yeah.
wanted to listen to it herself,
Why does she sit here with like a headphone in?
She
you know,
just,
on the
you know,
side?
Yeah.
Get your
Just
click.
lack of entertainment options. I don't know, Flash. Why does your mom listen at all? Thank
I'm
you
not-
for listening, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
I hope
I'm not really sure why she listens.
I'm
though.
glad that she does.
I'm
though.
glad your mom actually loves you.
She's a proud mom.
She does. And you know, speaking of my mom, she loves wine. She's not into seltzers or beers. So if you're a wine person, knowing that, well, like, what would be the Ola Brew beverage that you would recommend to my mom?
I would
Since
actually.
she is our only listener. My mom just texted me to ask you that question.
I would recommend a cider, actually. So ciders are technically considered a sparkling wine.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
We know that.
I didn't know
We
that.
know that you didn't know that.
Okay, good.
That's why she's anyway.
Thank God she's here.
And because we're trying to make not the sweetest ciders like an Angry Orchard or other ciders on the market, it's not gonna give you a crazy hangover like a lot of ciders might.
Oh, really? Let me have another one.
Pass it over.
I'm not trying to interrupt you, but when you said that, I was sold. Like, no hangover.
So I would say a cider, and I would actually say specifically the dragon fruit lychee cider. We also have a rambutan cider, a rambutan jaboticaba cider, which is delicious.
I haven't
say that
tried this
again.
yet.
Rambutan.
What is that? A fruit?
Which is the cousin of a lychee, and then jaboticaba is like a Brazilian grape.
What does the
It's-
rambutan look like? Because it's
Rambutan it's similar to a lychee. It has that
the hairs that come out of
yes,
it. Yeah.
and it has these like little hairs, so it's like this red with a bunch of hairs.
Yeah, it looks like a little sci-fi monster or something like that, like a little red fruit with
Yes.
with the spikes that come out of it.
Exactly,
That's cool.
exactly.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that.
Little
Wow.
hairy
So you make a
monster.
cider out of that?
Yes, it's delicious.
Where do we get that?
We get that from OK Farms in Hilo.
Okay.
So we actually, one of our main things is that we're buying fruits that couldn't otherwise be bought. So they're B grade fruits, right? That means that maybe they don't look as beautiful.
They're not
as
going
some
to
of the
shine on
fruits.
the shelf
exactly
at Whole Foods.
that are sold in the store.
It's like a fruit version of you.
It is. Oh, there's hope for me. I could be a cider.
So we bought 20,000 pounds of rambutan that wasn't going to be sold. So they they made their money for that.
So you're actually doing them a favor
Exactly.
Nice.
and making sure that stuff doesn't go to waste.
Exactly.
And so you don't can those. So those are kegged, and
Yep.
then do you distribute those locally, or are those only at the Ola Brew House? Or?
So we distribute them to a lot of our accounts on Hawaii Island. So we have about 70 tap accounts on Hawaii Island, whether that's a hotel or bar or restaurant, and then we also distribute them to some places here on Oahu, like Whole Foods or Square Barrels or Lychee's. Merriman's is another one.
Lychee's, that's Maleko's favorite
I love
favorite hangout.
Lychee's. I love it. I've been hounding Lychee to bring in the dragon fruit, to bring that over. Does
We're-
anybody on Oahu have that?
Not right now.
Okay,
No,
well
we're
let's make
working
that
on it.
happen. Let's
Yeah.
make it. We know people, so
Nice.
just for Maleko, just a little tiny keg would be fine.
But nice.
Get the little thing.
Yeah. So are you always must be experimenting then with different flavors and like hey, what does this one do?
Yes, always. So basically, we actually put ads out on the radio to our farmers saying, hey, everybody, if you want to sell us your fruit, bring in a sample. We'll figure out what to do with it, and then we'll probably buy all of it, right?
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Yeah,
And so that happened with the rambutan.
that happened with the rambutan. That's happened with jaboticaba, with star fruit, with tangelo, with dragon fruit, lychee, a whole bunch of citrus, vanilla,
Wow.
all kinds
Have
of
you ever
things.
made a cider out of a fruit and then been like, no, this is not. Nobody likes this. Like I imagine banana cider would be terrible.
We tried something with egg fruit, actually. You guys know what that is?
Never heard of it.
It's
Or any
it's
of the other fruits
interesting,
you
or like
mentioned.
like a custard. It has like this custard consistency, and that we couldn't
didn't
do
go
anything
well.
with mango cider. Our cider was delicious, but the processing for the mango, it's just too labor intensive. So we decided not to do that again.
Interesting.
Why not just
Yeah.
sell it and charge more? And hey, if it sells,
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. It
just
takes
takes a
up a
long
lot of
time.
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
What are your most popular flavors?
Right now, our most popular flavor of product that we sell in stores is our ginger hard seltzer. So,
I believe it.
so we
One of your hard seltzers is outselling your
our
beer.
IPA. Yeah. So that it just surpassed our IPA sales about a month ago or so.
And that is that just because that's the same sort of hip trend that's happening everywhere as people want to be
It's
drinking the hard
delicious.
Yeah,
seltzers?
man, it's been going crazy. Yeah.
Why is that?
We're watching our calories, man.
Is that what it is?
They're only
That's
100
it.
calories each. I want more.
Kevin's over there. He's like, that's awesome. He just finished his. Kevin, feel free to come up and grab another one.
We got another one for you up here.
You can hand me one, too.
Kevin, also, can you hand me one too?
We're day drinking.
We're all alcoholics, but we're lazy.
lazy.
By the way, if you're just listening and you're not watching the live stream, I mean, these hard seltzers are literally 2 feet away from us, and no one is like bothering to get up. We're waiting for Kevin to come over for us.
Just throw another one.
What is it about the hard seltzer trend in general that's made it so huge? Is it the calorie thing?
I think Russ nailed it. They're so low in calories.
Yeah, I think what it is people have compared us to, not us, but hard seltzers to like Zima or wine coolers, like those trends.
Zima didn't have any flavor. Zima's tasted terrible.
Exactly. So I've never had a Zima.
I'm old. I'm old, Naeha. I remember when they came out.
Could I say something about Zima? Zima's what you were buying if you were 26 and you couldn't hang out with people your own age, and they were 15 and they wanted Zima. That's who drank Zima.
But if you were 22, you added grenadine.
Yeah. Bala.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, for us, when we're talking
Dale.
about hard seltzers, we're seeing that yes, there's these social norms that are really important to everybody now, which is low sugar, low calorie, low carb, and everybody is questioning whether this is just a trend or whether it's going to stick.
That's one of our questions actually for you. Is it a fad or a trend, or is it here to stay?
I think it's here to stay, man. Everybody at first thought it was just a female beverage, and
definitely not.
Last night I was at the gas station and I saw 3 guys walk out and getting into huge trucks with their ginger hard seltzer, their lemon lime hard seltzer. So yeah.
I mean, that's the reason that light beer started back in the late 70s.
Sure.
Was it was a calorie thing, and it was less filling supposedly, but it was targeted to men.
Right.
First and foremost, and that category took off.
Everybody was skinny in the 70s, though.
That's called cocaine, Russ.
Oh, thank you.
Something different altogether. Right, Dale?
Right, Dale?
Right, Dale?
Right, Dale.
Speaking of cocaine, hello, Jimmy the Geek just walked into the building.
Hey, that's fantastic. What a great introduction that was. That's fun.
Our studio audience has literally quadrupled in the last 30 minutes. There's now 4, count them, 4 people in the audience.
That's
and we
amazing.
can shout them out by name.
That's it. Jimmy and Kevin is here, and Dale is here, and of course Chris is back for another round of insults.
Chris the punching bag is back in the building for just a few minutes before we piss him off again, and he storms out in a huff.
Seriously.
Russ, hit it with the impersonation.
Oh, Chris.
Chris Mills, everybody.
Yeah, like laundry. But I thought I should probably talk about something serious right now. There's no toilet paper.
Coronavirus!
The coronavirus. And that's sad.
Jimmy, that's the word of the day. That means you have to drink.
The thing is about coronavirus, not it's about musicians, really. Musicians always set the bar really high for their music. Like the song they wrote last night with the Kumbaya guitars and the Ouija board and the Jaybirds. Yeah, I like Jaybirds.
Yeah.
Man, this thing's gonna usher in an era of world peace. Probably not. It's gonna end planetary hunger. No. It's gonna restock the toilet paper at Costco. Probably not, but that's all right. So I set the bar really low for my music. This is the title track on my new album called Through the Tissue. Good timing, huh? I couldn't have planned better timing. I was like, oh, I'm literally drawing toilet paper rolls on my covers because I did a little unique art on every one for the people. And then this thing happened. And I was like, this is gold. But the goal I set it wasn't a lofty goal, it was a humble goal of just calling for the worldwide elimination of single-ply toilet paper. Because I believe that's something everyone can get behind. Nobody loves single-ply toilet paper. So I wrote an R&B song, I hope you don't mind, called Two-Ply. I'm serious, this is on my album. Oh yeah, girl. Get nasty. something if you don't mind. I like the bass on my keyboard. Here we go. Do it. So let's get serious. I always wanted to be an R&B star, but it just hasn't panned out yet. Listen. After a long day on the road, there's only one place I wanna go. Oh, just to sit on that commode. The porcelain goddess, baby. I wanna know, girl. Listen. But when my fingers poke on through, baby, scream to you. It lacks the paperweight. Oh, it just on Costco. That single ply just disintegrates.
Yes!
I need me some two-ply. The single-ply sandpaper stuff makes a man wanna cry. I think I'm gonna die. This gets me two-ply. Now, baby, do you really wanna see me cry? I don't think you do. A full-grown 200-pound man? I don't think so. Listen. The problems of the world can be wiped away if we just all switch the two-ply Costco toilet paper today. There's some left. Man's gotta do, Lord, what a man's got to do. I gotta stand up, baby girl, and demand too. Lord, upgrade your TP on my throat. Woo, woo. What's really weird about the Australians? They're always talking about saving the planet. But they're into three-ply. That's what we call hypocrites on this side of the pond. Yeah. This is a little auto-tune trick. Problems on the world to be wiped away with my auto-tune, girl, yeah. Single black toilet paper must go away. Yeah, man's gotta do, baby girl, oh yeah, what a man's got to do. I gotta stand up, baby girl, and demand to upgrade your crap paper armor through. That includes Flash's mom. You better upgrade, Mrs. Flash. Is it Mrs. or Miss Flash? Mrs. Flash. I think you're really cool. Upgrade, it's true. Toilet paper. Thank you.
Ukulele Russ!
I hope you guys find some. I think I saw one like half-used roll at the little corner store near the Itchy Butt.
The Itchy Butt.
Ironically,
Near
Itchy
the
Butt.
Itchy
It's
Butt.
it's the fried chicken place.
It's actually good food, although I'll never know. I actually never,
It's actually good food, but
I've
I'll
heard-
never know.
I've heard it's good food.
I heard it's really good too, but
I've never eaten there.
Russ is someone that poops in an outhouse. What made you to call your album Toilet Paper and then to also write?
always trying to do. We're trying to find something that's the everybody demographic. And I'm sick of
Right.
hearing the same generic love songs over and over that everybody's like, I love you. Oh, you're so good. I don't want to do that. I wanted to write a song about something everybody's into.
Well, it's like the classic book, Everybody Poops.
Everybody
right?
poops.
Everybody does.
But when you go to Asia, be careful because they don't supply it. You must bring your own TP.
They don't, but don't they have bidets there? Like Asia is
They have not in the public restrooms.
Oh yeah, no. Don't they just have a hole in the ground?
Yeah,
Yeah.
with no
Places I've seen.
TP. I'm just saying. Are you gonna bring single ply with you?
No, thanks.
No, you're not.
And
You're not
anyone
gonna do
watch
that.
Curb Your Enthusiasm? He just did a thing where he reinvented the bathroom. Was it the urinal? Yeah, it was brilliant. Larry David's brilliant.
Yeah, bidets are the thing now. Everybody's getting one of them. Does any of our audience of 4 have one yet? A bidet.
In the mud.
Water, wash my butt, girl. Sorry.
That, Dale.
Hold on, Kevin. Hold on. Let me.
Kevin,
my
I don't know if you know how podcasts work.
Yeah.
Or, just radio in general.
I'm in Costco yesterday.
There we go.
They're out of TP. The guy behind me in line is buying an attachable bidet.
Bidet.
Nice.
This is the thing.
And I'm
Smart.
like, I turn around and
This
look
is
at him and I'm
genius.
like,
Brilliant.
next best option.
It's just genius.
Yeah.
Okay, so true story. You can just put that down there for any of the other audience members that want to ask questions.
Chris, do you want to come up and get roasted on the mic? That'll be fun. Come on up here.
So a few weeks ago, I was buying a Christmas or a birthday present for my brother-in-law, and he's mentioned on several occasions toilet paper. He's talked about, right? It's a strange thing, but he's just got this thing. He's mentioned a few times. Oh, I only buy this brand, whatever. And so my wife and I thought it'd be a great idea to
He's
get him.
brand specific?
No, well, it was just a conversation about what's good, what isn't. And it's just a weird thing that we talk about every once in a while. So we thought it'd be a good practical and impractical gift to give him an attachable bidet. So we got one on Amazon for $30.
What?
It sits under the seat and it does its thing. It's just you just connect the hose and it does this little thing. He loves it so much. He encouraged me to buy one for myself. I have to tell you, I have it in the house now. Not concerned about the toilet paper outage at the moment, and I think this is the best upgrade I've ever done to my bathroom. It is absolutely the coolest. So anybody at home watching this, I highly recommend. Thumbs up. Would recommend.
By the way, if you're not watching and you're just listening to the podcast, I cannot overstate the excitement and the twinkle in Maleko's expression right now as he's talking about this.
Well, it's practical because right now you can't buy toilet paper.
Well, I have an answer to that.
Wait, why can't you buy toilet paper?
Because
Coronavirus!
Oh,
No, I figured out an
moved
answer to
on
this.
the ginger,
Save
by
the
the way.
planet,
Thank
people.
you.
I don't
Naeha.
see why everybody's freaking about toilet paper. All you got to do is walk down to Waikiki and wait for those people to hand you out the flyers and just bring those home. You got toilet paper for free right there. 'Cause
nice grit 20 sandpaper.
nobody's touching those things. Nobody ever does.
What'd you say there, Jimmy?
CVS receipts? Yes, CVS receipts.
Jimmy, if you have something funny to say it into the microphone.
Yeah.
Morning radio show producer guy.
Yeah.
You can spend $100 at one of those local chain convenience stores, and they go, Mahalo, spend $100, you get free calendar. So like the calendar.
You can say ABC store, it's fine.
Okay,
They're not
there
a
we go.
sponsor of the show, so you can throw ABC under the bus.
No, true story. I was trying to figure out whether or not it was feasible to take the rolls out of the multi-roll thing at work, because they have the multi-roll dispenser, and it's like nobody will miss the second roll.
Ooh.
But you don't.
Wow, desperate times.
Desperate
They
times.
will
man.
during the coronavirus outbreak. Yeah, sorry. Bad idea.
Thank you, all 4 of our studio audience members. Raise their glass.
Yeah.
We've trained everyone well.
That's it. Well, enough about this. This conversation's gone to shit. Really, literally.
Oh, sorry about that. It's my fault.
Terrible people.
Bill's just rolled his eyes at you.
Yes.
Wow.
I love it.
No one finds that impression funnier than Russ.
That's fine.
It's great.
I'm going to deal with this later, the fallout.
Let's talk more about Ola Brew Company, because this is a company that came out of a very small, humble beginning, and now is the go-to recognizable local brewhouse brand. And if I were to say to you, like 5 years ago, if I were to say to you, name 2 local breweries, people might have said like Kona, for example.
Which is not local.
Which is not local. Exactly.
So annoying.
Exactly. But now people will indefinitely say Ola Brew Company because of the seltzers, because of, the IPA was one of your trademarks for so long.
What's your best-selling beer?
Our best-selling beer is the IPA.
The IPA.
You did ask this earlier.
No, but she said the hard seltzer was the answer.
We can rewind a little bit later. We'll do it again. I'll play it back for you.
All
You
right.
did ask that
Right.
question.
All
That's okay though. That's all right. You've had a
High
couple.
alcohol content.
You've had You've had
Fine.
3 or 4 seltzers. It's fine, fine.
Or whatever.
So-
Let's count.
So
Tell
they
me
do
about
give
how-
a good buzz.
Tell me about how Ola started, because you've got a really cool origin story.
Very unique origin
You've got
story.
this. You've got this
Yeah.
whole thing. It wasn't just some billionaire with money. You guys just decided to make something out of nothing.
Yep. So we actually started out. Our mission started out before Ola Brew started out. So we actually started as a non-alcoholic beverage company. Hawaiian.
What's the point?
Hawaiian Ola. So the whole point of it was actually to support local farms, right?
Got
So
it.
our
Good
mission is to support and grow Hawaii's agricultural economy. And we did that at first by making these little noni shots. I don't know if you guys remember
Oh, yeah.
those yellow and green noni shots. But we started that. We kind of hit a cap with that, and we wanted to make a bigger difference in our ag economy here. So we're brainstorming, thinking that we could use all this fruit that was going to waste, right? And so
How did you even know that that was a problem that
issue.
existed in the first place?
Well, yeah. Well, let's start with the noni. I mean, when did you? Who makes noni shots?
So Brett Jacobson is the founder of Hawaiian Ola and also the founder of Ola Brew. Co-founder of Ola Brew, and he moved to Hawaii about 10 years ago, wanting to make a difference in sustainable food systems here in Hawaii. And so he was looking at, crops that could grow in marginal soil, and noni is one of the first plants that grows out of lava, right? So you don't need a lot of inputs, and he lived down in Miloli'i at that time, so that's super dry, mostly lava rock. And so he just went from there, created that shot. We then had about 10 noni products on the shelf for about 5 years in 7-Eleven and Foodland and all the local chains. And then we decided that we wanted to start working with more fruits and like dragon fruit and lychee, jaboticaba. And so we decided that we wanted to start a cidery.
Thank
right?
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So, what was the first alcoholic beverage that you made? Not just for commercial use, but just you guys hanging
Yeah.
around like, look what I made.
Yeah, so
This has
actually,
alcohol in it.
Brett did his first brew of beer at my house when I lived over here in St. Louis Heights about 4.5 years ago or so, and it was an IPA. So it was our flagship IPA.
That's
that
so
was
recent too.
yeah.
That's so recent.
Yeah, so that was the first brew. It actually turned out great. So we were like, oh man, let's just keep going with this. So we started, messing around, opened up our first crowdfunding raise in 2017. So that was like the spring of 2017. So we are actually all community and employee owned, which is super, super awesome. We have 850 small investors, some small, some a little bit bigger. And so that has really helped us to kind of get our word out. And, anybody who owns, we opened up this round that people could invest anywhere from $100 to $100,000 right online. And so we have about probably 60 or 70% of our investors come from Hawaii, and they've invested $100,
Whoa.
$1,000.
So it's like a GoFundMe, but it's for business.
Exactly. Yeah.
Explain how all your employees are owners. How does that work?
So we've given all of our employees stock options.
Wait, hold on. iHeart, are you listening? Yeah, go ahead. Continue.
iHeart.
So every employee, whether they have stock now or they will, we have kind of like this grace period where it's 6 to 9 months. We're checking them out, they're checking us out, and then we offer them stock options. So it's pretty incredible. It gives them a lot of incentive to do their best and help us grow as much as we possibly can.
I'm sorry, once again, iHeart Radio, are you listening? iHeart.
What is the stock lettering for your stock?
Oh.
The call
Is it
number for
publicly
stock?
traded or
Is it publicly
still-
traded or
Not
no?
publicly
Okay,
traded.
so
So,
still-
we're a
Do they
private
have
company.
stocks in Alaska, Russ?
Yes, I
They
can give
do?
you some
Okay,
stock
just
tips.
checking.
I can give you some stock tips right now. We're still
Stocks
doing,
of salmon.
We're still doing it on paper, like the pink sheets, but we're doing it.
All right, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
So are you still taking investors then? Are you still inviting people to crowd fund the Ola Brew Company now that you're so successful?
Are you asking for a friend?
Yeah, just saying. Hold on, I have the Robinhood app. I can invite you.
We do actually have a round open right now. It's a private round though, so it has some other specifications other than just the minimum now is $25,000 rather than $100.
Oh, okay. See you later.
Yeah.
I'm out. I could
go.
I could
you
go
guys
to
are dropping out
$24.90,
already.
but that was it. That's my
But
limit.
if anybody has any questions, definitely reach out to us.
Nice.
We're
But it's
open.
worth it. I mean, the company is clearly proven itself, and it's you're not done yet, right? You've got more
No,
in the
we're
works.
We're growing. Yeah.
Are you sold anywhere outside of Hawaii yet?
So April 1st, we're going to start selling on Hawaiian Airlines, which will go outside of Hawaii.
Very good.
The ginger hard seltzer will be sold on all flights, all Hawaiian Airline flights, which
That's
is super
amazing.
exciting.
That's amazing.
By the way, Hawaiian Airlines is typically one of the top 3 liquor sellers in the state every year. So
That's
I mean,
great.
I
getting
didn't know
Hawaiian
that.
Airlines as a client is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you know that?
Free booze on international
the crowd
flights
is
with Hawaiian
now
Airlines.
roasting Flash.
I always fly Hawaiian from here to Sydney or Melbourne because, one, they're awesome.
Yeah.
2, free booze.
Free booze.
So now you're going to get free Ola.
Yeah, that's
Yep,
right.
free Ola,
as long
that
as the
ginger seltzer.
coronavirus doesn't stop my tour.
Ginger seltzer helps the coronavirus.
Yeah. Actually, I need another
Kevin.
seltzer.
Kevin.
Every studio audience member has a job.
That's it. Thank you.
Kevin is our bartender. Mills
Yes.
is the punching
Yeah, I was
bag.
gonna say.
Dale keeps everything working, and apparently Jimmy is kind of like a heckler.
That's it.
Yeah.
Now, what's Cooper doing? Cooper, do you
Thanks.
want a drink, Cooper? By the way, shout out to Cooper, our sound guy.
Our real engineer over there actually working.
The actual guy doing work today.
He's polishing this turd over here. It's nice.
He's doing a great job.
Cooper, I'm serious though. You want a drink? Cooper gave
Come
a
on
thumbs
down
up.
if you do. Come on down and grab.
I think the thumbs up meant Kevin, come bring me a
Yeah,
drink.
actually, you're better off if Kevin brings
Hold
him a
on.
ginger.
Mr. Mills is yelling something at us. Oh, you want me to do the laundry? He's talking about songs.
Oh, he's doing song requests now.
Oh, you were serious about the laundry song request.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess Russ, if you're not doing anything else, I guess we'll entertain Chris Mills.
I just.
Dance for me, monkey, dance!
He's letting me sleep in a spare bedroom.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, the
Good
show's not over yet, Russ. So we'll...
Oh, God. It's almost like church background. And the Lord said on the third day, let there be love and coronavirus and like cool stuff like that. Stuff like that. Coronavirus! I'm calling for segregation now. Segregation tomorrow. Segregation today for your white and your red laundry. You thought this was some sort of race joke, didn't you? Talking about color-safe bleach. That's what I'm talking about. Coffee, yeah, and half-smoked cigarettes. Doing laundry, gotta separate them whites from the reds, yeah. Unless you want a pink tank top. Ooh, that's a little high voice. Just don't stop. Get them quarters together. Ooh, crap, my voice there. Buy your laundry by the door. Oh, that shut off. Oh, we have everything breaking in the middle of the song. That's always great. Propane dryers don't work. Damn, Fairbanks don't. 40 below or even more. Don't do that. Oh, still on time. See that? That's classy. This is what happens when you don't have everything Velcroed down. What? Oh, don't worry about that. I'll get that mic in a second. I just figured why I could play Ukulele songs if you really want me to, but I think you guys have probably heard that before. Are we going to the ukulele? I'm really white right now. No. Okay. Get them corners together. How you laundry by the door? Propane dryers don't work there in Fairbanks now. 40 below, even more. Yeah. Get them corners together. Head on down to the laundry store. You'll probably get coronavirus. But on a pink tank top. Yeah, 'cause everybody's touching them quarter slots. Yeah. Lord, a pink tank top. Better separate them whites from the rest.
Yeah.
Even with everything falling over, I think I still made that work.
That's really good.
That worked out just fine. That's Ukulele Russ, everybody.
Just knock it all over.
So were you, growing up, were you just the class clown? Were you always making jokes?
Yeah, I was the guy getting suspended all the time. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
me.
You're interrupting class again.
There's
Oh,
a
was your
problem.
teacher Chris Mills?
No, I'll tell you what. The problem is my brother was one of those kind of not cool to teachers guys because he thought he was too smart. And then I came 2 years later, the same teachers, so they already thought they knew who I was, which they're pretty right, but whatever. I remember I had one 8th grade teacher. Her name was English teacher named Mrs. Beveridge.
Wow.
Hold on. I'm making this up. And her first name was Holiday.
Holiday beverage.
Yeah, her parents really must have hated her.
Oh, my gosh.
And I
That's
remember she
terrible.
comes up to me and she's ragging on me about something. I go, listen, Eggnog, I don't got to take this from you.
Yeah.
Suspension number 1. Right.
Or her parents named her after how she was conceived.
True. Spiked eggnog.
Ooh.
Also, I don't know.
And then the history teacher, same year, like I just thought he was weird because this is my only qualm with public education, all right, is the fact that they let people like this guy wearing dicky pants and a button-up shirt, same dicky pants every day. Evidently he had 30 pairs because finally I started hitting him with a marker to see if he was wearing the same pants the next day. I got caught. I got suspended for doing that too. But he came and did a 3-week unit on the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Do you know what the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald is? No, you don't. Do you? No, you don't either, do
No
you?
idea.
No, it was a Gordon Lightfoot song from 1976 about an iron ore ship that went down in Lake Superior. Very important. Very important, because all 3 of you know it. 3 weeks of my life. This guy comes in the room and pulls the shades down, plays this weird slideshow, and starts crying in the corner. The song is 12 minutes long.
Oh, my God.
Sorry. And so I made fun of him and got suspended again, too.
And that's when you realized that you could do this.
I had a calling.
Yeah, you had a calling. Chris Mills, everybody.
Chris Mills, everybody. Where'd Chris go? He left the room.
It's not as funny when he's not in the room. Chris, come back here so you can storm out again.
Oh, he's so messing with me
terrible.
while I'm
It's
sleeping
terrible.
tonight, probably. I'm going to be on the lanai. That's where I'm sleeping tonight if I still get to sleep in the condo.
And by the way, Russ, tonight, this is Wednesday, March 3rd. Did we say that at the
March
beginning
4th,
this time?
yes.
March 4th, whatever. He's playing at Shorefire International
Yeah.
Marketplace
Yeah.
tonight, 5 to 7, and Saturday, 5 to 7, out on the beautiful Lanai.
Corporate.
Yeah, well, hook it up, man. That's nice.
My wife doesn't own it, though, but her name is Corporate. She wants the numbers up, man. That's all she wants. I got in trouble with her last week. She sent me down to HR. It wasn't good.
Isn't that just sending her to
Is that Dave?
What's
Is that Dave? That's good.
Dale
Very
on the
good.
board.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Dale
good.
on the board.
HR's Dave,
Excellent.
the cat, not the neighbor.
The cat. The cat.
I almost blew his brains out before when we first got Dave.
What?
Well, we live in a tiny
We love
cabin. There's
cats.
little
Not-
stairs.
not
I do
Dave
too.
the neighbor.
No, not Dave the neighbor. Dave the cat.
Dave the cat.
Yeah.
Which would be totally legal.
Don't mess with cats, man.
No, the first night we got him, we went to sleep and we wake up in the middle of the night here.
Whoa.
In my house, I'm like, somebody's in the house. I'm reaching for the Glock, And I pull back the little curtain and we went up to our loft and there's that cat, cross-eyed, staring down the barrel of my pistol. Going, I'm like, oh my God, I hate you, cat. I've had him for 10
Your
years
cat
now.
speaks.
Yeah.
That's next level.
Only when he's
That's
hungry.
creepy.
If he's hungry, then you can't sleep. There's no sleeping.
That's creepy.
Yeah. You guys can borrow him if you'd like.
No thanks. Two of my own.
You know, we're going to have a mayor opening here. Maybe he could run for mayor in Honolulu.
Cats do a great job, man.
Dave
Tokine is
for
a nice
mayor.
town.
We can teach him how to say hola. It'll be awesome.
Wasn't there one small town where they
A dog.
Was it a
There's
dog?
a dog that I think he's reelected. I think he's the mayor again.
Yeah, he's killing it.
He's
Jimmy,
doing-
can you
He's doing a great job.
concur on that?
Can you
Yes.
verify?
Jimmy says yes.
If only there was a device where we could look this up.
if only. If only. Naeha, what's next for beer? Because
Yeah.
the hard seltzer is the hot trend of the moment.
Yeah.
Craft beers have been a hot thing for probably a decade now. What's next for beer specifically that you see in the future?
Yeah, for us, we actually just won our first gold for a session IPA.
Oh, congratulations!
Which is it was our hazy light, and so we'll be canning that soon.
Very nice.
Within this year, but for beer, we're just looking at using a lot more local ingredients, incorporating a lot more farms, incorporating the community a lot more. So,
do you feel like the trend in beer on the big scale, the worldwide scale, certainly on a national trend, is it going more towards locally sourced ingredients?
it's definitely going more towards craft. So there's a lot there, big beer, like, Budweiser and Coors and things like that, Heineken. They're doing well, but they have definitely seen, a decline in their numbers. And that's because there are so many craft breweries, right? And a lot of those craft breweries are focused on the community. So I
But
would
those
say
big
yes.
companies are buying all those craft breweries too.
Right, that's correct.
Well, we talked about that earlier. It's like you start to get familiar with your local craft brew, and then you suddenly realize that it's owned by
You don't know
corporate.
them at all.
Yeah, it's like, who are you
corporate.
people?
By corporate.
Yeah, your wife owns everything.
God, she hasn't cut me in on any of this stuff. I wish got me out digging outhouse holes and stuff, and she's rolling in the dough.
Yeah, so that's definitely their tactic, to stay relevant, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So if Big Beer
Yeah.
came to Ola and said, "Hey, we'll give you umpteen gazillion dollars," are you buying a beautiful house on the mountain and call it deuces? I'm out.
I don't think so. So the goal for Ola Brew is to continue growing our community impact. And the way that we'll continue to grow is by growing our valuation. And then, instead of selling out, we can go public, and that's what we'll do.
To go your own way.
Exactly.
I like that. I love
Exactly.
that. And
Well-
being from Hawaii, where you've got that sustainability, you've got that connection to the island, to the people.
Exactly.
It's possible that it could do it.
Yeah. Well, and selling out to a large corporation might hinder our mission, which our mission is always our North Star of supporting the local community. And so for that reason, we won't do that.
Fantastic.
You're so much better than us.
Because
I
could have
hate
asked
good
that,
people like you.
that same
God.
question to Flash. If you had a great beer company like this, and you
Sell
were
it.
offered $1 gazillion,
Lots of money.
I was over here going,
Whatever. Yeah.
Sell it.
Corporate saying sell it.
yeah.
Exactly.
Flash is on a boat. He's out of here. Bye. Oh man. So you guys, people can visit you
Yes.
on the Big Island.
Absolutely.
Where can we go to see you?
You can come to our location in Kailua. It's all, we brew, can, and serve everything right there.
You guys do tours?
We do tours at 1:00 every single day.
You serve food.
We serve food.
My
It's
buddy Mark
delicious.
over there in the kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Live music.
Mark is an incredible chef.
Live music.
They have live music.
Yeah, live music always. Our next big show actually is March 13th. That's the day before Kona Brew Fest. So we're going to have the late ones there, and, it's going to be a good time.
Now, you had Leilani Wolfgram.
We
perform
did
at
have
the
Leilani
brewery.
Wolfgram.
Now,
Yes.
she's been on the show twice.
She has.
It's
Notorious.
Two of our most popular podcasts were with Leilani. Just curious, behind the scenes, how much did she swear? And how wasted was she by the time she hit the stage?
Okay, so she swears a lot. She's an incredible performer.
Totally.
She performs incredibly. And all the little girls love her. So she has this other very soft side, that it could
She
be a
was-
good
Look
role
at how
model.
She's dodging
She
the
was a
question.
Disney princess.
No, she was a Disney
We've
princess.
learned
yes.
this, yeah.
We learned this on the last
She
podcast.
was Pocahontas at Disney
She
World.
was literally
Are you
a
serious?
Disney princess, like one of the
Quite-
characters.
quite
Elizabeth
literally.
Warren? She was Elizabeth Warren?
no.
Sorry about that.
No,
Sorry
no,
about that.
no.
Sorry.
This is
Sorry.
not the Joe Rogan podcast. We don't get,
Epstein did not-
political
I'm
here. That's it.
I could
Just
do
in
it
case
myself.
anybody home was confused, not the Joe Rogan podcast.
So I think by not answering the question,
Yeah,
she answered the question.
it was. I considered that answered.
Yeah. So it's the same because she performed for you at Dinner on Blanc. It was kind of the same situation.
Kind
I
of the
think.
same situation.
Yeah.
She's a fantastic performer.
Well,
She really
I mean,
is.
we're going to have her on the show again because we
bring her
always get
back.
our the most listens when she's on.
she's
so
great.
God
She's
bless
great.
Leilani.
Cool. So how can people follow you? How can people send you $25,000 to become a part of the company? Where do we look? You have Instagram, social media.
Instagram, Ola Bruco. We have our website, olabruco.com. Facebook, my email.
And is it the Ola Brew House? That's the name of the spot in Kona.
Ola Bruco.
Ola
Yeah.
Bruco. Cool. Go and check them out in Kailo, Kona. Not far from town, so people can come.
Have you been there?
If you're visiting, I haven't yet, but I
You
know
guys
where
gotta
it is.
come, man.
Yeah, my friend works there, so he's part of the
And
team.
Luckily for you guys, we'll have a spot over here as well.
Oh, breaking news.
Look at this, folks. You heard it here first. Here as in Oahu.
Here as in Oahu. I'm not going to
so-
disclose the location, but by the end of the year, we'll have something over
Oh
here.
my God, this is exciting. We're gonna have to take our podcast.
Where's
on the road.
Chris Mills? He wants to take your money already.
That's it.
Chris Mills just got very excited.
What would Chris Mills say? It's
And Naeha would be like, wow, let me sign on the dotted line. That sounds great.
cash and checks.
Oh, is that the pitch? Did I just do the pitch?
Yeah.
Sold.
Awesome. Hey, Ukulele Russ, how can people follow you and find out where you're going to be playing next around the world?
This is the only state that I don't have to explain how to spell ukulele, which is great.
It's true.
So it's ukuleleruss.com. I'm also on Facebook as Ukulele Russ and his one-man frontier band because other musicians have drinking problems and don't show up on time.
Excellent.
I
This
made
is
this.
great.
I made
You
this.
ever have to fire your drummer?
Twice on tour.
On tour?
On tour.
So
just-
then do you finish the tour without a drummer?
Yes, or we hire locals.
Ooh.
Yeah, when I used to tour with bands, we had
risky.
to do that twice.
Risky.
Yeah. And the worst was the last guy I had to fire. This is like 10 years ago because I decided 10 years ago that it wasn't worth it anymore dealing with other people. You guys, current company excluded.
No, it's true.
But
This
it-
show would be 100% better without Flash. I agree.
And,
Shut up, Dale.
I literally had to fire a guy, and I'm like, he disappeared, and we called him up. We're like, where are you? We have to leave for a gig. And he's like, I'm at the strip joint. And I was like, all right,
Wow.
you're fired. And so he showed up there, and we just unloaded his stuff in the strip joint parking lot.
Wow.
It's closed now, so I can call it. This PJ's was the name of the strip joint.
the name of the
It's
club?
where strippers in Anchorage went to die, retire, couldn't get a job anywhere
Oh,
else.
God.
You know what I'm talking about?
That's awful.
I had to play the music for. I did a gig there, actually.
You
the next
did?
month.
At a
Oh
strip
yeah,
club?
they hired me, and I wrote down every
Talk
song
about
I knew.
competition, man. I mean, you're.
No, it was great. It was really great. I wrote down every song I knew. I gave it to the dancers. I said, pick your songs for your floor show.
smart.
And so they picked their songs. And it's just weird that the 65-year-old woman with the 10-year-old hips, the 20-year-old boobs, and everything else is probably not going right. But she
Sounds like my kind of girl.
She asked me to play "Knocking on Heaven's Door," and I really had to choke down the laughter because
Oh, God.
she was. She was.
Terrible.
Choked it down. And I've told that joke with her dancer name, which I can say now. Why are they always semi-precious or precious stones or expensive cars? She was Mercedes.
Mercedes.
She looked like a Pinto.
Yep. So did you have to
probably drove
introduce?
like a Pinto too, but I don't know.
Did you have to introduce them when they come on the stage?
Yeah.
Coming to the stage now is Angel. And after her floor show, if you get a dance from Angel, technically you were touched by an angel. Here's Genuine's Pony.
That's my life, man.
Ukulele Ross, everybody. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. Oh, and thank you for coming and sharing Ola Brew with us as well. This has been fantastic. Naeha and Brett are doing good things over there at Ola Brew Co. Go and visit their website. Go and visit the Brew Co. in Kailua Kona and say hello for us.
Yeah.
And visit apparently on Oahu by the end of 2020.
True. True. And you can find Ola Brew in all of your local retail stores and convenience stores around the island. And if they don't have it, demand that they bring it in. That's it. Right?
I was getting hold on. No, wait. She's coming over here with her business because there's probably going to be a reduction in the cost of real estate due to coronavirus. There we go.
Fantastic.
Good call.
By the way, shout out to Merriman's.
Yes, shout out to Merriman's for bringing the fantastic food,
Great food.
today. Merriman, of course, a pioneer farm to table from the Big Island. Pete Merriman bringing some of that regional cuisine right here to Oahu. You can get it in Kaka'ako. Thanks for providing today's delicious menu. And thank you to our sponsors for making today's show possible. Lyft for getting us home safely. Rockstar Energy Drink for keeping me awake after being awake at 1:30 this morning. Devant Champagne and Terra Water for providing hemp-based water product, which does not get you high.
Unfortunately. This
Not
water
s-
sucks.
Not sure what the point is, but there it is, folks.
What is the point of that water? I don't know. Next week on the show, we have Andrea Tupola, former gubernatorial candidate from the Republican Party. She will be here. I do believe.
Tulsi
well,
Gabbard?
I wish we could get Tulsi on the show.
Well, she's not doing anything else, really. at the moment.
She's still running for president somehow, some way. I don't get it.
She's got one delegate
one
from
delegate.
American Samoa. Oh, look, wait.
No, that was Biden. Biden won America.
I just want to.
Jimmy the Geek.
Would you like the actual governor to come down too?
Governor Ige is here, everybody.
I'm gonna come down. Free undergi for everybody. If you show up, thanks, sir.
That's it. Governor Ige, thanks for coming down. You could reach him on Twitter if he remembers his password.
Yeah. And later on this month, we have musician Elijah Sky and The Green are going to be on the show March 25th.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Very cool. And if you want to catch up on any of the episodes we've had in the past, you can visit us on our website, malekoandflash.com, where you can subscribe using any podcast application. Whatever you listen to podcasts on, find us there. And if you like the show, tell your mom.
Don't tell my mom.
I
She
was going
already
to
knows.
call Flash's mom.
Yeah, she already knows. Thank God. That's it. We're out.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Anybody want some hand sanitizer to prevent against coronavirus? Okay, got it. We'll shake and hug.
Right.
Thanks, Dale.
Dale said, surprised and shocked.
Thank you, man.
Good to see you, man.
Take some refreshments.
You're awake too. You've been up for a while.
Yeah, it's great.
Love it a lot.
How do we want to
Thank you.
Take the photo. Let's do it over here by the
by that thing?
by that thing.
All right. Wait, Jimmy and Dale, come here. And Russ, we're going to take a picture. Cooper. Cooper, come get in the picture. And
Are we still streaming, Kev?
Turn off the recording now. So.
No, Dale,